Our story begins with Lee Jinwoo, a sharp, determined detective in his late 20s. With his short, neat black hair, intense brown eyes, and a lean, athletic build, Jinwoo was known for his relentless pursuit of justice. He was deep into an investigation targeting Chairman Kang Min-jun, a man in his late 50s with silvering temples and a powerful presence, who was suspected of massive corporate fraud and even darker crimes. Jinwoo worked late, meticulously piecing together fragments of evidence, driven by an unshakable belief that the truth must prevail, no matter how powerful the adversary. He felt a chilling certainty that he was nearing a breakthrough, a feeling that both exhilarated and unnerved him. Jinwoo's investigation led him down a treacherous path, revealing connections to illegal dealings far more sinister than mere financial fraud. He uncovered evidence pointing to human trafficking and a secret network that operated under Chairman Kang Min-jun's protective shadow. The detective, ever the idealist, failed to grasp the sheer ruthlessness of his opponent. Chairman Kang Min-jun, a man in his late 50s with sharp, calculating dark eyes, was not just a powerful executive, he was a predator. As Jinwoo closed in, a chilling sense of being watched began to creep into his daily life, a subtle unease that sharpened his senses but also isolated him. One fateful night, as Jinwoo was on his way to meet a crucial informant, he was ambushed. The attack was swift, brutal, and utterly without mercy. A burly man in his 40s, with a stern, expressionless face and short-cropped black hair, Mr. Kim, Chairman Kang's head of security, was among the assailants. Lee Jinwoo, the sharp, determined detective in his late 20s, with short, neat black hair, intense brown eyes, and a lean, athletic build, fought valiantly, but he was outnumbered and outmaneuvered. He fell not just defeated, but utterly extinguished, his life ending in a dark alley, his pursuit of justice cut tragically short. The powerful Chairman Kang Min-jun had silenced him. The world faded into a painful, echoing void, only to snap back into a dizzying reality. Jinwoo awoke not in his own body, but in that of a frail young woman in her early 20s. Her name was Kang Sala. With long, straight black hair often tied back, pale skin, large, observant dark eyes, and a slender frame, she was the epitome of overlooked fragility. The initial confusion gave way to horrifying realization: he had been reborn. His memories, his convictions, his very soul now resided within this new form. The shock was profound, the disorientation overwhelming. He was alive, yet utterly alien to himself. As days turned into weeks, the full extent of his new reality settled in. Kang Sala was Chairman Kang Min-jun's estranged niece, living under his roof in a lavish mansion, yet treated with detached indifference. Chairman Kang Min-jun, a man in his late 50s with silvering temples, sharp, calculating dark eyes, and a powerful presence, seemed utterly unaware that the detective he had brutally murdered now walked among his household, living as his own kin. Sala, still grappling with her new identity, observed him from a distance, the chilling proximity to her killer a constant, visceral torment. Her new weakness was a stark contrast to her previous athletic build. The initial shock gave way to a burning resolve. Lee Jinwoo, now inhabiting Kang Sala's frail body, knew his rebirth was not a coincidence. It was a second chance, a divine or perhaps demonic opportunity for vengeance. He began to meticulously observe Chairman Kang Min-jun, a man in his late 50s with silvering temples, sharp, calculating dark eyes, and a powerful presence, noting his routines, his visitors, the subtle shifts in his demeanor. Every glance, every hushed conversation became a piece of a new, terrifying puzzle. The internal conflict was immense. The kind-hearted detective's soul wrestled with the cold fury of the reborn avenger. Sala had to maintain her meek facade. During her clandestine explorations of the mansion, Sala stumbled upon an old, forgotten newspaper clipping tucked away in a dusty attic box. It was an article about the unsolved murder of Detective Lee Jinwoo. Seeing his old name, his face, the face he once possessed, sent a jolt through her. It was a direct, undeniable link to his past life, a cruel reminder of what he had lost. This small, seemingly insignificant detail ignited the flame of his former self, strengthening his resolve. He felt the weight of his previous life's unfinished business pressing down, urging him forward despite Sala's inherent weakness. This was confirmation. From that moment, Sala Jinwoo began to carefully plan her revenge. She started by gathering information, using Sala's unassuming nature to her advantage. She spent hours in the mansion's vast library, not reading novels, but studying corporate law, forensic science, and the local political landscape. She subtly tested the security systems, observed the staff, and memorized the layout of the sprawling estate. Every move was calculated, every action deliberate. The detective's mind, now in Sala's frail body, began to awaken, crafting a silent, intricate strategy to dismantle Chairman Kang Min-jun's empire from within, without raising any suspicion. Her first direct interaction with Chairman Kang Min-jun, as Sala, was a test of nerves. Chairman Kang Min-jun, a man in his late 50s with silvering temples and sharp, calculating dark eyes, looked at her with polite indifference during a formal family dinner. Sala, a frail young woman in her early 20s, with long, straight black hair often tied back, pale skin, large, observant dark eyes, maintained a demure posture, answering his perfunctory questions with soft, quiet words. Beneath her meek exterior, a storm raged. She had to suppress the primal urge to confront him, to scream her accusations. The tension in the air, at least for her, was suffocating. Sala, utilizing her limited access to the internet, began to research the details of Lee Jinwoo's murder case. The official reports were sparse, attributing his death to a random street robbery gone wrong. But Sala, equipped with Jinwoo's memories, knew better. She scoured online forums, obscure news archives, and even dark web chatter for any discrepancies or forgotten leads. She looked for mentions of Chairman Kang Minjun, a man in his late 50s with silvering temples and a powerful presence near the time of the murder, or any associates. The task was painstaking and risky, as any unusual activity could attract unwanted attention from the very people she was investigating. Among the online articles, a name resurfaced: Detective Choi Yoonji, a sharp, pragmatic female detective in her mid-30s, with short, practical brown hair and intelligent eyes. Choi Yoonji had been Jinwoo's partner and friend, and she had never accepted the official explanation for his death. The articles detailed her relentless, albeit often stonewalled, efforts to reopen the case. Learning that Choi Yoonji was still fighting for justice ignited a flicker of hope within Sala. She wasn't entirely alone. There was someone, a fellow truth seeker, who might believe her, or at least be receptive to new information if she could find a way to convey it safely. Sala knew she couldn't directly approach Detective Choi Yoonji, a sharp, pragmatic female detective in her mid-30s. The risk of exposing herself, or worse, putting Choi Yoonji in danger, was too high. Instead, she devised a subtle plan. She anonymously leaked a small, almost innocuous piece of information related to the case through a public forum that Choi Yoonji was known to monitor. It was a coded message, a breadcrumb trail that only Jinwoo's former partner would recognize as significant. Sala hoped that it would pique Choi Yoonji's interest and remind her that the case was still alive, subtly nudging her back towards the truth she had sought. Within the opulent walls of Chairman Kang Minjun's mansion, Sala began to pick up on fragments of suspicious conversations. Chairman Kang Minjun, a man in his late 50s with silvering temples, sharp, calculating dark eyes, was often on the phone, his voice low and urgent, discussing shipments and assets that sounded far from legitimate business. Once she overheard him angrily berating Mr. Kim, a burly man in his 40s with a stern, expressionless face and short-cropped black hair, about a problematic package. These hushed words, combined with Jinwoo's memories, painted a chilling picture of an ongoing criminal enterprise, confirming her worst fears about his true nature. During a rare opportunity when Chairman Kang Minjun was away from the mansion, Sala ventured into his private study. Her heart pounded as she systematically searched, remembering Jinwoo's training and finding hidden compartments. Behind a loose panel in his antique desk, she discovered a locked safe. Using a combination Jinwoo vaguely remembered from an old case file, a sequence of numbers from a defunct corporation linked to Kang, she managed to open it. Inside lay a trove of illicit documents, ledgers detailing illegal transactions, and encrypted hard drives. This was it, the undeniable proof she needed to bring down the powerful Chairman Kang Minjun. The ledger also revealed a critical target, Councilman Thuron, a key player in the Grandmaster's political machinations, involved in organ harvesting. Lee Jinwoo's blood ran cold in Sala's veins as she recognized names of missing persons from his old case files, now listed as donors or goods. A chilling photograph of a young girl whose disappearance Jinwoo had investigated years ago was stapled to one of the ledgers. The sheer depravity of Chairman Kang Minjun, a man in his late 50s with silvering temples and sharp, calculating dark eyes, solidified her resolve. This wasn't just revenge, it was about stopping a monstrous evil. This evidence was irrefutable. The night of the strike on Councilman Thuron was a symphony of silence and shadow. Ilyas, a wraith in the darkness, navigated through layers of elite guards, disarming traps with practiced ease. He reached Thuron's chamber, finding the man awake, poring over documents. Thuron, a plump, sweating figure, barely had time to register the silver-haired phantom with the scarred eye before Ilyas delivered a swift, clean end. No struggle, no alarms. The message was clear, no one was safe. As Ilyas melted back into the night, the city slept, unaware of the silent war being waged in its heart by a lone man in dark leather armor. The disappearance of Councilman Thuron sent the Obsidian Hand into a frenzy. Their ghost was no longer a myth but a tangible, terrifying threat. Grandmaster Valerius, a formidable aging man with a stern, angular face, a long, well-kept black beard flecked with gray and piercing dark eyes, convened an emergency council. He was adorned in opulent, dark purple and gold robes, his obsidian pendant gleaming. He ordered a citywide lockdown, deploying every asset to hunt down the elusive assailant. The city was now a chessboard, and Ilyas, the rogue knight, had just taken a rook. His name, once synonymous with a loyal operative, was now whispered with fear. The city became a hunting ground, and Ilyas the prey was more dangerous than the hunters. He moved through the urban labyrinth, a master of evasion, his form-fitting dark leather armor blending with the shadows. He left false trails, turned guild patrols against each other, and vanished into the bustling crowds whenever pursuit grew too close. He observed the guild's desperate measures, their growing panic, understanding that each move they made revealed another piece of their vulnerable network. His silver hair flashed occasionally under streetlights, a phantom flicker. His cold blue eyes remained vigilant, never wavering, constantly calculating. During his relentless evasion, Elias made an unexpected contact. Kalen, an information broker with a network spanning the city's deepest secrets, approached him. Kalen was a nervous, wiry man with sharp, observant eyes and a perpetual smirk, always clad in faded but clean garments. He had no love for the Obsidian Hand, having suffered their ruthlessness in the past. He offered Elias intel not out of altruism, but a shared desire to see the guild crumble. It was a risky alliance, but Elias knew he needed more than just his own blade to dismantle such a powerful empire. His silver hair shimmered in the dim light of their clandestine meeting place, his cold blue eyes assessing Kalen's sincerity. With Kalen's intelligence, Elias learned the guild was preparing a massive trap, luring him to a warehouse district under the pretense of a vital ledger being moved. It was a desperate attempt to corner him, but Elias, anticipating their move, turned the tables. He used Kalen to feed them disinformation, subtly altering the supposed bait's location and reinforcing the guild's false belief they had him cornered. He prepared his own ambush within their ambush, his sleek, black daggers sharpened, his dark leather armor ready for battle. His cold blue eyes gleamed with a predatory intelligence, his silver hair a silent warning to his unsuspecting foes. The trap sprang, but not as the guild intended. Chaos erupted, and amidst the confusion, Elias found himself face to face with Serafina. Her long, flowing raven hair was pulled back for combat, her sharp emerald eyes burning with a mix of fury and anguish. "Why, Elias?" she demanded, her voice laced with pain. "Why destroy everything?" The air crackled with unspoken history and bitter betrayal. She lunged, her slim rapier a silver blur. Elias, clad in form-fitting dark leather armor, parried with his sleek black daggers, the clash of steel echoing their shattered past. It was an emotional battle, each strike a question, each block a denial. His silver hair swayed as he moved, his scarred eye reflecting her pain. During the intense, emotionally charged duel, Elias pressed her not just with steel but with words, with memories. He spoke of their shared past, of the loyalty they once held. Serafina faltered, her resolve cracking. She revealed her truth. She was forced to participate in his betrayal, her family held hostage by the Grandmaster. She had tried to warn him subtly through coded messages he hadn't received, or perhaps hadn't understood at the time. Her emerald eyes welled with tears, but her stance remained defensive. It was a revelation that shook Elias to his core, changing the landscape of his revenge. His silver hair was disheveled, his scarred eyes showing a flicker of understanding. Before they could fully process the revelation, more guild enforcers swarmed them. Serafina, now allied with Elias, fought with a renewed ferocity not against him but alongside him. Their combined skills, once honed together, proved devastatingly effective against their former comrades. They fought as a cohesive unit, a deadly dance of two shadows. They escaped the warehouse district, leaving a trail of defeated enforcers and mounting confusion in their wake. Their flight was not just an escape, it was a recommitment, a silent pact to take down the Grandmaster together. Elias, his silver hair now damp with sweat, felt a flicker of hope amidst the storm, his cold blue eyes now holding a hint of their old camaraderie. With Serafina now on his side, Elias' mission gained a new dimension. She provided invaluable insight into the Grandmaster's inner circle, his personal guards, and the hidden defenses of his heavily fortified sanctum. Together with Kalen's intelligence, they pieced together a comprehensive plan for the final strike. The goal was no longer just revenge, but liberation for the city, dismantling the Obsidian Hand completely. Elias, his silver hair meticulously tied back, prepared his sleek, black daggers, his form-fitting dark leather armor now feeling like a uniform of justice, his cold blue eyes alight with determination. Serafina stood beside him, her resolve equally fierce. The Grandmaster's sanctum, a fortress disguised as a temple, was the culmination of their journey. Elias and Serafina infiltrated it under the cloak of a moonless night. Every shadow held a potential threat, every passage a hidden trap. They moved like ghosts, their combined stealth unmatched, bypassing the outer defenses. The tension was palpable, this was the point of no return. Their movements were fluid, silent, a testament to years of training and a shared, singular purpose. Elias, his silver hair barely visible in the dark, led the way, his scarred eyes scanning for any sign of danger, Serafina a silent, deadly presence behind him. Their path to the Grandmaster's chamber was guarded by the Obsidian Hand's elite, the notorious Shadow Guard. These were no ordinary assassins, but hardened veterans loyal only to Valerius. A ferocious battle ensued in the temple's antechamber. Ilias and Seraphina, a whirlwind of blades and precise movements, fought with desperate synergy. Ilias' sleek black daggers weaved a deadly dance, while Seraphina's slim rapier flashed, cutting down foes with elegant brutality. The clanging of steel, the grunts of exertion, and the cries of the fallen filled the sacred space. Ilias, his silver hair flying, his scarred eye glinting, pushed through the onslaught, Seraphina a relentless force at his side. Finally, they stood before Grandmaster Valerius, a formidable aging man with a stern, angular face, a long, well-kept black beard flecked with gray and piercing dark eyes. He was adorned in opulent dark purple and gold robes with a large, intricately carved obsidian pendant. He met them with a chilling smile, surrounded by faint, ominous aura. The dead returned, he sneered, recognizing Ilias. The air crackled with power and fury. The final confrontation had arrived. Ilias, his silver hair disheveled from battle, gripped his sleek, black daggers, his cold blue eyes locked onto his betrayer. Seraphina stood ready, her rapier poised. This was where it all ended, one way or another. The battle against Valerius was not just physical, it was a clash of ideologies. Valerius was a master of dark arts, weaving shadow and forbidden magic, twisting reality around them. As they fought, he revealed his true motives, not just power but a twisted vision of order, believing the city too chaotic, too weak, requiring a firm iron fist, his iron fist to guide it. He saw himself as a savior, and Ilias' betrayal was merely a necessary sacrifice for the greater good. Ilias, his silver hair catching sparks of arcane energy, his scarred eye reflecting the chaos, found new strength in this truth, fueled by revulsion for Valerius's megalomania. Seraphina moved swiftly, creating openings, diverting Valerius's dark attacks. Through sheer tenacity and their combined prowess, Ilias and Seraphina eventually overcame the Grandmaster. Valerius, stripped of his power and influence, fell, his twisted vision of order crumbling around him. The obsidian hand, its leader defeated and its inner workings exposed by Ilias' ledger, began to unravel. The power vacuum left behind would be chaotic, but the city was free from its most insidious puppet master. Ilias, his dark leather armor scuffed and torn, stood over his defeated foe, his silver hair matted with sweat and dust, his cold blue eyes finally devoid of pure vengeance, replaced by a weary sense of justice. Seraphina, exhausted but resolute, stood by him, her rapier lowered. With the obsidian hand fractured and Valerius defeated, Ilias had achieved his revenge. But the ghost of the Serpent's Abyss could not simply fade away. The city still needed protection from the inevitable power struggles that would follow. Ilias, no longer a weapon of pure vengeance, embraced a new role. With Seraphina and Kalen's help, he began to work from the shadows, not to destroy, but to rebuild, to ensure true justice. His silver hair, once a symbol of his past, now shimmered with a quiet hope. The scar over his left eye remained, a permanent reminder, but his cold blue eyes, though still intense, held a glimmer of peace. The star-crossed blade had found its new purpose, guiding the city towards a brighter dawn, forever vigilant, forever a guardian from the shadows.